Good morning. It's Thursday. I think it's October the 24th. I'm here attempting another daily vlog. I'm trying something different because randomly when I was getting ready to shower, I thought maybe today I could talk about things that I feel like I've done over the past several months to streamline my life. And I don't know why I thought to share that, but it was an idea I had. So that is what I'm going to try and make the focus of today's vlog be. We'll see how it goes. So it's about 7 and I have showered. I woke up at about 4:30, got the dogs out, fed them, took them out to use the bathroom, changed clothes to worked out, showered, and now I'm in the middle of doing my makeup. So one of the first things I feel like I've done or incorporated in my life in the past several months, and in this case, the past year or so, all in the name of streamlining it, is my workouts. Hold on a second, I need to mute the TV. Okay, there we go, the TV's muted. And also, I'm sorry if the lighting is weird. I think it's the back of this mirror reflecting off the bathroom light, and you're not gonna be able to see my face because I'm putting on makeup in the other side of the mirror. But anyway, my workouts. I used to work out at Orange Theory. I haven't had my Orange Theory membership for, it might be close to 2 years now. And I loved it at the time. It was a great time. I loved the trainers that I worked with initially for the first couple years. They eventually started moving on to other things. I enjoyed the people that I took the 5 a.m. class with. That eventually started to change as different people came and all of that. And then COVID happened. And then that really put a halt in it. And so when COVID happened, I was forced to figure out, okay, how am I going to work out in the way that I want to without any gyms open? So I, like everybody else in America and all over the world, probably bought a Peloton. I bought the bike. And that was my workout. And I'm thankful for it. I'm thankful that I had it during that time because it really helped. And then COVID kind of went away in the sense that Orange Theory opened back up. I went back. But then that's when I got to the point where I wasn't really loving the instructors. Like, it was hard to find an instructor that I really felt like I responded well to. And there was really only one. And then the dynamics of the 5 a.m. class was such that I just didn't even really enjoy the company of the people taking the class. And if I'm going to be up at 5 o'clock in the morning, working out intensely, I at least want to be surrounded by people that don't like agitate my soul to some degree. So I eventually made the decision to invest in the treadmill, because then I'm like, I love the bike, but I can't just be spinning every day. I need some kind of variety. So I invested in the treadmill. And now I have the treadmill and the bike. And there is a part of me that's like, I wonder if I could just squeeze the little rower in there. So I have that. And also, when I thought about it financially, once you pay off the bike and the treadmill, you pretty much can create an Orange Theory environment in your house, with the exception of the rower, at a much cheaper price. You obviously have to pay the subscription fee to Peloton. And to be honest with you, I don't even really know how much it is, but it's way cheaper than what I was paying, because I was paying at least like $160 a month to have unlimited classes at Orange Theory. So my workout's done. That's streamlining number 1. I can do my workouts at home. Everything is in-house. I don't have to travel anywhere. I'm saving gas. I'm saving money. And I can work out on demand, like when I have time, when I feel like it. So I've done that. And I am now putting on makeup, which brings me to the second thing that I've done. And this is in more recent months, the past year and recent months. I want to say January or so, I got my eyebrows microbladed. There they are. I used to have to pretty much be an artist every morning to get workable eyebrows on my face. I've never had full eyebrows. I've always had very scant eyebrows, thanks to my dad. So I had become very well versed at creating the eyebrows that I wanted, but that took time. I don't know how long. It probably took at least 10 minutes for me to get them the way that I wanted them. And then finally, I just bit the bullet and said, let me get them microbladed. After seeing my sister, she got hers done and I liked them. She lives in Arizona and she had somebody else do them. But, you know, my fear was like, I didn't want them to be looking super tattooed. And like, I've seen people with eyebrows tattooed on and or microbladed, and I've never really liked the way they looked. But then when I saw my sister and I saw hers, I'm like, okay, hers look good. I did some research, found someone that my aunt recommended, and I got my eyebrows microbladed last January, I think was around when I did it. So that has saved me 10 minutes of time at least with getting ready in the mornings. Recently, when did I do this? Over the summer, I think late July. Also, again, thanks to my sister, I decided to try and get lashes put in. And I really didn't think I would like it because I've seen people with lashes, and I think what I was thinking of when it came to lashes are women that I feel like just kind of overdo it. Like it's a little bit too much lash for my liking. And so then I learned like that's just one particular preference. You don't have to go that dramatic. My sister loved her lashes and loved the fact that she just woke up in the morning looking at least somewhat put together. So if worse came to worse, she was up and out the door. So I said, okay, well, let me try and get my lashes done at the end of the summer. I'll see how I feel, and we'll go from there. But to be honest with you, I really didn't think I was going to like it. But I just wanted to try it. I tried it. There my lashes are. Yeah, the camera is really blurry, and I do think it's just the lighting in the mirror, and I apologize. And I'm filming on my phone, so my apologies. And that has turned out to be something that has streamlined my mornings, and I didn't even think that it would. Because now I feel like my makeup gets done much quicker. Because the lashes give like such an effect with the eyeliner that I put on, I don't really feel the need any longer to put on eyeshadow. So that's the step that is removed. And I just feel like I can get my makeup on and done in a way that I'm satisfied with in about 10 to 15 minutes, which saves me time in the morning, which makes me feel somewhat less stressed. So yeah, I am loving that so far. I get my lashes done every 3 weeks. If you're thinking about it, it is something that I have to budget for. So I get mine done every 3 weeks, and it costs me about $100 every 3 weeks. So I definitely had to cut costs in some places or spend more frugally in other places to be able to afford to get my lashes done every 3 weeks. And right now, some of you might be like, oh my God, $100 every 3 weeks for something that's purely cosmetic. I get it. But right now, at this stage in my life, it's worth it. And it is nice to wake up knowing that if I just woke up, brushed my teeth, and washed my face and walked out the door, I would still look decent. I would still look presentable. I wouldn't be scaring off the kids. So far, those are the things that I've streamlined. And as I've talked to you, I've pretty much started my makeup and I'm almost done with it. So yeah, I'm gonna turn the camera off. I'm gonna finish up this makeup here and get dressed. And I'm really gonna try my hardest because I'm really trying to do some of the things I used to do way back when that I truly enjoyed. And I know a lot of you enjoyed, but I haven't done in the recent years, which is share my outfit. I'm gonna try and really get that shared for you today. So I'll see you in a bit. All right, so I'm dressed now, and since last we spoke, we've had an unfortunate event, and that would be that my nail broke. So there's that. We're just leaving it there for right now. But here's my outfit. This is all Ann Taylor Loft. This shirt, my dog is pooping right now. This shirt is from Ann, on a potty pad, don't worry. It's from Ann Taylor Loft. I got it, I think, last spring, and I just never wore it. These jeans are also from there. They are high-waisted and they have a little tie here. I got these last year. The shirt is actually supposed to be pulled a little bit tighter in the back, but I can't button it back there. And then I'm just wearing these slides from DSW. I forgot the brand. It was a brand I had never heard of before. And then I'm just wearing the same gold hoop earrings I've been wearing most of the week. This ring is from Uncommon James, and my Apple Watch. And my hair is still up there. So I'm sorry. But I need to go. I will talk to you guys a little bit later. Update. I decided to try and put in some effort, and I took my hair down from my little bun that just sits up there. So I hope you guys appreciate the effort that I made. I am on my prep period and I'm getting ready to have some breakfast, and I realized here's another example of something that I've done to try and streamline some things for myself, make life a little bit easier, and that is realizing I do need breakfast between the time I wake up until lunch. Like, I do get hungry. I don't have time in the mornings because my mornings are already jam-packed, and I used to use these years ago and then I stopped. I think I had found something else. I had found a smaller version of these. They were little breakfast bowls but in a cup, and then those stopped being sold, so I went back to these. I showed these in a previous vlog, but I eat my Jimmy Dean breakfast bowl. I always get the Meat Lovers. It takes 3 minutes in total to make. It's very satisfying. It's very filling. I primarily get this one because it's 22 grams of protein. I know it will keep me full and it doesn't take much. So you just pop this in the microwave for about 2 minutes. Stir after 2 minutes and put it in for another minute. And then you are good to go. So I'm going to do that, and then I need to figure out how the rest of the day is going to go because one of my classes is behind the other in language arts, and I don't really like the two classes to be in two different places. So I need to decide if I'm going to like double up the one class, obviously, and then not do the history lesson with the other. Like, I really don't know. And it's kind of giving me some anxiety. But yeah, I'm on my prep. I'm going to work on continuing to grade some things as well as figure that out. And that's pretty much it. What I'm supposed to do in language arts today is read another picture book to help them with the Telltale Heart test that they're going to be taking tomorrow. One of the questions is going to talk about the use of symbolism in the story. So I'm going to be reading The Good Egg to talk about symbolism there. And that was not my idea. I happened to find this on a website of a teacher that I don't know her personally, but I have followed her for a while. And I think I found her through Megan at Too Cool for Middle School. And it was a post she did. I'm assuming this is on her blog or her website where, and I know she teaches older students, and it was the 10 best picture books to teach literary devices. So yesterday I read The Day the Crayons Quit because that was a suggestion she gave and it was useful for what I needed to teach. And so The Good Egg is another one that she suggested, which I have, luckily, because I taught elementary school and I have a ton of picture books. And she's suggesting that this one be used to teach narrative style as well as symbolism. Because in the book, the good egg cracking like symbolizes like the pressure of trying to be perfect and always trying to do things right. So that's the plan. We're going to read that book, talk about the symbolism there, and then go back to the Telltale Heart and identify the use of symbolism in that story as well. So that's what I'm planning to do in language arts today. I'm pretty sure I'll do language arts regardless. It's really just history that I'm not sure about, so we'll see. But I need to figure that out during my prep, go stir my breakfast bowl, and get myself together. It's 5 o'clock on the dot. I was gonna say Usher lyrics, but he doesn't say 5 o'clock, sorry. I just got out of 2 meetings. I had a meeting after school at right about 2:30, which was me and 2 out of the 3 other union reps for our site. We have, starting this year, we've had monthly meetings with our administrator to potentially resolve any site concerns before they go to the actual district level union meetings. So we went over that, and we always go in with like a little agenda that's based off of site concerns that have been expressed to one of us or all of us at some point, and then we talk through it with the principal. The goal is to get it resolved right then and there, so it's not anything that we have to bring up as a topic of conversation at the district union meetings. And so far we've only had 2 of those meetings this year. That's been the case. We've been able to clarify whatever needs to be clarified or resolve whatever needs to be resolved. And then right after that, I walked over, because this meeting was on my campus this time around, to my coworker who does the culturally responsive meetings with me, I walked over to her class because we were having a district-wide meeting where we got the materials that we need for the upcoming staff meeting that we will be presenting at. And that takes a while. That just ended. And now I'm here. And I'm getting ready to go home. I don't have the things that I normally would like to have ready before I leave the classroom, but sometimes that happens. It is 5 o'clock and you know, I gotta get home before it gets dark and walk the dogs. And so I'm gonna get those things together when I get home. As far as today, I think the last time I talked to you was on prep, and I've been trying to share with you some of the things that I do to streamline my life. Nothing streamline worthy occurred. I mean, I had lunch, and I think I've talked before, my streamlined lunch is always, it's either a salad from Trader Joe's that's prepackaged, or it might be a factor meal if I have some of those extra. Again, it doesn't require me to think when I go home and pack my lunch. It's just me throwing in one of those containers. The most that I have to do to prepare my lunch is to slice up apples, and that's it. So I had lunch, and then as far as the lessons were concerned, I think I mentioned during my prep that my switch class, which is the class that I have in the afternoon, was slightly behind my homeroom class, and I wasn't really sure what I was gonna do because I wanted to teach or read the history section today so that we can keep on schedule with these town hall meetings, but I wasn't sure if that was gonna be possible given that one class was off in language arts. So what I was able to do is, yesterday with my homeroom class, which didn't happen with my switch class, I read the book, The Day the Crayons Quit. And the purpose of me reading that was to talk about the author's craft, or to talk about point of view. And like why stories are told from different points of view. And so I read that with my homeroom class yesterday, didn't get to it with my switch. And so today I'm like, am I gonna read 2 picture books? Because today the plan was to read The Good Egg to talk about symbolism. So luckily I had a moment where I realized, well, The Good Egg is also told in first person point of view. So you could read one book and touch on both point of view, which was the lesson from yesterday and the skill from yesterday, and symbolism, which is the one from today. The downside is the switch class didn't get the experience of hearing The Day the Crayons Quit, which some of them at least seemed disappointed by it, or they were faking it. And I said, if we have time at another time, I'll read it. But we did read The Good Egg. I'll show that to you. It's a book, again, me teaching elementary school comes in handy at times like these, because I do have a lot of the picture books that were popular when they came out. So it's this book here. I absolutely love it. It is like the follow-up to the first book I think these two wrote, which was The Good Seed. And so I'm trying to be, again, very explicit with these kids, telling them what I'm doing and why I'm doing it, in the hopes that they retain the practice. So today I said, all right, I'm gonna read you another picture book called The Good Egg, and today we're gonna talk about symbolism. So before I read it, I had them go back in their notebooks where I've given them resources on different types of author's craft. Symbolism is on that chart. We reviewed what symbolism is. My battery's gonna die. Hopefully I get all this said. We reviewed what symbolism is, and then I said, all right, I'm gonna read you this book, and I'm telling you that there is a piece of symbolism in here. And so as I'm reading, what I want you to be jotting down and listening for is, what is the symbolism? Like, what is the thing that's being used to represent a thought, a feeling, an idea? And then after I read it, I'm gonna give you 2 minutes with your group to discuss, share ideas, and then I'm gonna randomly call on someone. And by the time I randomly call on someone, you've discussed with your group, you've heard the book on your own, so you should have something to say. And I will tell you, we did a little strategy that I learned from CLR training called Whip Around, where I roll a dice and that seat number in every group stands up. Every group was able to identify the symbolism, which in this book is the crack in the egg that occurs throughout the story. And they were able to accurately understand that it symbolized the stress, the pressure that the good egg was under of trying to be perfect and trying to worry about everybody else. So when they were able to do that, I said, now you see, you guys just proved to yourself that you are in fact able to identify symbolism in a story if you just think it through, and then also explain what it symbolizes. So when you see a test, whether it be the test tomorrow or going forward, and you're asked to identify symbolism, before you panic and say, I can't do it, let's remember this. So then we listen to the Telltale Heart again. And I said, now I want you to identify symbolism in this story. There's at least one instance of symbolism in this story. Just listen. When you think you've heard it or you can identify it, highlight it and annotate off to the side, symbolism ? And then we'll discuss. So I did the same thing. We listened, gave them 2 minutes to discuss with their group, share their thoughts, their ideas, randomly called in a student from every group, had them share out, and once again, they successfully identified the line I was hoping they would recognize as symbolism, and they were able to successfully identify what it symbolized. So I'm feeling optimistic, cautiously optimistic, that when some of these questions come up in different forms on the test, that they will be prepared and ready. The test is tomorrow. And I also talked about just taking your time, think things through, use the resources you have, the notes. So that was that. And then history was not super engaging. We just had to read the lesson that's going to prepare them or gives them the information they need for the next town hall meeting. So that was my day in a nutshell. I'm going to end the vlog, or not end the vlog. I'm going to stop talking here because the battery's going to die, and I'll try and wrap it up when I get home, as long as my other battery is charged. So it's the next day, it's Friday. As I laid my head down to sleep last night, I realized I forgot to end the vlog yesterday. My intention was to go home and show you the last Streamline thing I was gonna show you of the day, which is my dinners. I used to cook all the time back in the day. A few years ago, I used to do Blue Apron. At one point I was doing, is it called Green Chef? But basically the meal service where they send you all the ingredients and you cook, and then it just got to a point where even that was too much. So I've streamlined dinner in the sense that I now get meal service from Factor, which the food is already cooked and ready to go. You literally pop it in the microwave for 2.5 minutes. I get a shipment a week. I get 8 meals a week, and I spend about $125 on a shipment, but that's because I upgrade one meal. So I was gonna show you that, but I forgot. I think by the time I got home yesterday after the 2 meetings and just teaching for the day, like, I really just needed time to decompress, which is why I didn't edit last night and upload, and you're seeing this footage later than what I intended, and why this daily vlog has like 1.25 days, because I'm gonna include today's clip. But that is really it. I'm not gonna vlog today because, again, I'm in a season of finding balance and doing what works for me. And I know that today I'm gonna be very busy. Like, it's the end of the first trimester. My grades are due next Tuesday. Most of what I need to get done is graded, but there's a lot of little things that I need to do to just kind of feel like I'm on top of things. And there's a fall festival at the elementary school, at one of the elementary schools that feeds into the school this evening. And I have leadership students going there to volunteer. And so I'm gonna show up to that for a little bit, but I need to focus. I need to use my prep. I feel like there was something else I was gonna say, but I can't remember. So yeah, as far as the weekend is concerned and daily vlogging, I don't think I'm gonna vlog over the weekend, just to give myself a little break. Plus I have quite a bit to do this weekend. So I'm just gonna go ahead and end it here. So if you enjoyed today's vlog, which was technically yesterday, and a little bit of this morning, please give this video a thumbs up. If you'd like to leave a comment, please feel free to do so, even if it's just to say that you're enjoying the daily vlogs. Again, that keeps me going. And if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. And as always, I hope that you're well, and if you're not well, please be well, and I will see you in the next one.